Now it's time to catch up with one of Great Britain's leading kitesurfers, Lewis Crathern. After only 5 years of kitesurfing, the 23-year-old is already making his mark on the national and international scene. In 2007, he grabbed 3 top 20 finishes, and in 2008 has already collected another 2. Despite his contest successes, for Crathern, it's still all about freeriding and progression.
I grew up in Worthing, which is a small town on the south coast of England. I used to skate every day here, it was my life, and then I sort of was searching always for something more to do. I saw all the kites taking off down the beaches and I thought I have to do this sport. Picked up a cheap kite and that was it. I was down the beach every single day, just learning, and it's good for me. It combined every kind of sports that I'd ever done. I was really into diving boards, acrobatics, I'd backflip off walls, everything, and then I got into kiting and it was just like everything I'd ever done into one. It worked perfectly. Kitesurfing is a very unique sport. I think that it's one of the only sports where you just can't go and do it whenever you want it. It's very frustrating. Some days it can be windy and some days it can't, and you can go for 2 or 3 weeks without getting out on the water, and that really makes you want to go out and do it again. It really keeps the sport fresh. I think one of the most attractive things about kitesurfing to me still, and will be a long time, is that it's such a new sport, so you never know what's going to happen. Freestyle has kind of 2 meanings to it really. You have all the low-end, low-wind stuff, which is the wakeboarding style tricks, but when the wind picks up to sort of gale-forced, heavy wind conditions, then you have a different kind of freestyle, which is the ability to use your kite in very strong winds. I feel that competition isn't everything about what I do as my sport. I'd like to think that more of my time goes into learning new things and going in different directions. You have, how I see it these days, you have the competition rider who will practice and train for these competitions, doing all his moves, doing 8 minutes, and this isn't really what I'm about. I like to go out and free ride and go off in new directions, which may not help me so much in competitions, but in terms of standing out and trying to move the sport in one way, sometimes it doesn't work, but you only know if you try it. I think that free riding is very important in how you express yourself when you're free riding. Whatever it is you're doing is showing how you're feeling at that moment in time. I think when most people ask me the question, where's the best place you've been to, and this place must have been amazing, it was sunny and warm, they're quite surprised when I say it's actually back home in Worthing, which is my #1 place to go to. I have the best kite surfing sessions of my life in Worthing. I like to get angry with my kite, and I like to really battle it out with the wind. Sometimes the wind can really try and knock you off and push you over, especially when it's really blowing hard. It's like a constant battle that you have between the wind and yourself, and sometimes the sea gets in there for a little go at you with the odd wave the wrong way around and stuff like that. Everything's trying to go against you. But I'd like to contain it within a battle between the elements. No one else, just me and the elements. It's always a good battle. And you always lose, you never win, you'll never beat the wind and the waves, somehow it will always beat you. Music's very important to prepare for competitions. Listening to the right kind of music before you're going out there, actually visualising that you're going to have a good competition and visualising you can win. If I took my free riding mentality into competitions, then what will happen is what's starting to happen already with my competition. Instead of trying all my tricks within the space of 8 minutes, I've gone in there, done 3 or 4 tricks within one heat, which is hardly anything, but of the best quality I can do, the hardest and most powerful tricks, and it's got noticed. Instead of going into the competitions getting so aggressive and angry, I've chosen to focus it all into just 3 or 4 moves of quality. And that way, it might not help you so much with competition, but you get to do something different. It's nice to do something different. I want riders who are younger getting into the sport to realise that competitions aren't everything. This isn't where you're going to make thousands of pounds and make your living. It's all about free riding, and it all goes back to the core. As soon as you get into kite surfing, you really realise that it is such a free sport. Everyone you meet within it understands together as a whole that you're doing something which doesn't cost you anything. You respect the environment, you go out and use the wind, use the sea. Every year I go out to Cape Town, sort of January to mid-March. I get good waves, loads of wind, everything revolves around kite surfing. You wake up every morning, you kite, you eat, go and kite again. It dictates everything you're kiting. It's an up and down, it's a constant trip. Since I started kite surfing, it's always been up and downs, and usually the ups are when it's windy and then the downs are when it's not so windy. I won't ever stop doing something which is involved with kiting. Right now I'm on a project which is called the Camera Project. I go into schools and colleges and do projects on board design and where you should be sticking your graphics for sponsors, and then in come 4 or 5 boards straight from the government. They pay for the boards to come into the schools. The kids get to design them. We get to test them. Other colleges will come out and make films and small projects on kiting in general. There's just so much spinning off kite surfing at the moment because it's a new, exciting thing. It's great to be part of it.